The mystery of congealed goldfish blood and the magical world within. An unexpected microscopic exploration. On one side, there's a blackish red blood clot that's thickened like jelly. But on the other side, surrounding it, there's still fresh, bright red, thin blood. Our minds immediately wonder, why is this fish's blood like this? Is this fish sick? Is it safe to eat? That curiosity leads us on an investigative journey. We'll dissect the mysteries hidden behind goldfish blood one by one. Ready? Let's get started. Segment 1. Frozen black blood versus fresh red blood. Mystery introduction scene. In the abdominal cavity, near the spine, we saw a blood clot that was dark red, almost black, and thick in texture. As soon as the fish died, its heart stopped pumping. The blood that had been flowing rapidly, carrying oxygen, suddenly stopped. Hemoglobin, the oxygen-carrying protein in red blood cells, lost its oxygen supply. When hemoglobin doesn't bind oxygen, its color changes from bright red to dark crimson. That's the first step. But what causes it to thicken is the clotting process. As soon as large blood vessels, like the cardinal veins and aorta, are severed when we cut open the fish, these factors immediately activate. Fibrinogen turns into sticky fibrin threads. These threads catch blood cells and form a net, forming a dense clot. The longer it's exposed to air and enzymes from the surrounding tissue, the blacker the clot becomes. This isn't a disease. It's a natural process that occurs in all dead fish. So why is there still thin, bright red blood surrounding the black clot? Shouldn't the blood have all clotted? The bright red blood, it turns out, didn't come from a severed large vessel. It originates from the tiny capillaries and venules within the fish's flesh, which are still intact. When a fish dies, not all the blood immediately drains out. The blood trapped within the muscle fibers remains protected. It's not exposed to much air. The clotting enzymes aren't fully activated immediately. And the hemoglobin still has time to bind oxygen from the muscle myoglobin, keeping its color bright. As soon as the flesh is pressed during cleaning, these capillaries burst, releasing fresh blood that contrasts with the dark clot. Segment 2. Entering the micro world, the silver planets that move on their own. Amidst the sea of red blood cells, small, shiny, silver droplets can be seen. They glitter like tiny planets. Even more astonishing, they move slowly. When the blood shifted slightly under the pressure of the cover slip, they floated along. These were fat droplets, or lipid droplets. Goldfish store fat under their skin and between the fibers of their flesh. When we scraped a blood sample from the surface of the flesh, some of the fat cells ruptured, spilling their contents. Fat is insoluble in water, so in the water-based blood plasma, it forms tiny droplets that reflect light. This reflection is what produces the silvery sheen. So why do they move? It's called Brownian motion, the random movement of tiny particles caused by the collisions of fluid molecules. Coupled with microcurrents in the blood, these lightweight fat droplets drifted along as if they were moving on their own. Segment 3. Black ring balls and the mystery of the blood-colored spilled water. There were perfectly round spheres with distinct black edges, two perfectly round and hollow inside. It turned out these were simply trapped air bubbles. Air and liquid have different refractive indices of light, so when the microscope light passes through them, it bends sharply, creating dark rings. Among the blood cells, there were areas that looked like spilled water, irregularly shaped, yellowish red, just like diluted blood. Within these areas, scattered small red spheres were scattered. Some of the fish's red blood cells had burst due to the pressure during the preparation. The spilled hemoglobin dissolved into the plasma, creating a red liquid that spread out shapelessly. The small spheres that remained were the surviving red blood cells. Segment 4. Giant silver rock filled with black and white sand, an artifact from another world. There's a large, irregular, silver-colored structure. It's much larger than the surrounding cells, as we've seen before. Inside the structure are grains like sand and small stones. Some of the grains are silver, others jet black. This structure doesn't mix with blood. This is a fragment of a goldfish scale. It's reinforced with guanine crystals, a substance that reflects light and gives it a shiny silver appearance. It's inhabited by melanophore pigment cells containing black melanin granules. The silver grains inside the stone are guanine crystals. The black granules are melanin. This structure is solid and insoluble, so it doesn't mix with blood. Segment 5. The worm-like yellow fiber that doesn't move at all. In the lower layer of blood, there are long, pale yellow, wavy fibers. Remember, we take blood samples from the surface of the meat, and therein lies the key. These fibers are the torn skeletal muscle fibers of the fish. Under a microscope, these fibers appear striated, elongated, and have a natural yellowish color. Segment 6. Waves and blood that follow the rhythm of the waves. Natural artwork. In some areas, we'll see a background of wavy lines, much like waves on a frozen beach. Remarkably, red blood cells, fat globules, and other tiny globules appear to follow the contours of the waves. They aren't scattered randomly, but rather neatly lined up, following the curve of the waves. Why is this? This is a topographic effect of the muscle striations that form the base of the slide. Muscle fibers have a light-dark pattern called A-bands and I-bands, which, when viewed from above, appear as wavy transverse grooves. When blood is placed on top of these, the fluid blood cells fill the depressions between the crests of the waves. As a result, the cell distribution follows the surface relief. So, here's the conclusion of our exploration. Goldfish blood, which we thought was disgusting, actually holds a million stories. These phenomena don't indicate disease. Instead, they're evidence of the complexity and beauty of the living bodies we often take for granted. Science doesn't have to be in a lecture hall or an expensive laboratory. It can start from your own curiosity, in your kitchen, with simple tools. If there are any other mysteries you'd like us to explore with a microscope, let us know. And don't forget to like this video if you're amazed, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss out on exciting science adventures. Share it with your friends so they too know that behind every fish cut, there's a universe waiting to be explored. See you on the next exploration. Thanks for watching, and remember, never underestimate the little things, because that's where miracles often hide.